The Book of Boba Fett is now out on Disney Plus. Episode 1 has just dropped. I have just watched it. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on the first episode. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of episode 1? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did it live up to your expectations? Or were you disappointed? Smash it down below. Let's get a discussion going. Smash that like button for me and click subscribe. And let's jump in to this review of episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett.
Speak freely.
Okay, so the Book of Boba Fett, I have been so excited for this ever since I saw him come back in The Mandalorian Season 2. I love Boba Fett, and he has been a character that I have thought for a long time that they have misused because he has such a cool backstory to him and he has such a cool demeanor. The legend, the stories, the myth behind Boba Fett. We all have seen the fear on Han Solo's face when he sees Boba Fett and hears his name. We've seen that in the original trilogy. We never got to see him be the badass that he has been lived up to. Because, remember, he is told that he's one of the greatest bounty hunters of all time. So we have been naturally wanting to see him. I have anyway. And we got a bit of him in The Mandalorian. And then when we heard we were getting the Book of Boba, I was ecstatic. So naturally, Season 1, I was there, ready to go as soon as it dropped. And as soon as it dropped, I put it on and I watched it. What did I think of the first episode? I really enjoyed this first episode a lot. What I really appreciate with what they did with this episode is the flashbacks. Because we just saw Boba come back in The Mandalorian. That's all we saw. We saw him just come back. There was no context to how he survived the Sarlacc pit or anything like that from Return of the Jedi. He was just there. This episode, we see how he got out. We discover what he has going through to get to the point where he was in Mandalorian, which I really appreciate and really like, and I'm so glad they went down that route. So obviously he's in the back of the tank. I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's very similar to that if it has a different name. I can't remember because they did call it something different, I think. But it's like a back to tank where you basically go in and it heals you. So he's in there and he's having these flashback dreams of what he went through, and we see him in the Sarlacc pit, and oh my god, did that look freaking awesome when he was in there with all the guts and everything like that, and he sees the stormtrooper, and then he puts his arm through and blows it all up, and then he comes out of the sand. That was all epic, and it's just Boba Fett being the survivor he is, which I really appreciate, really loved. I thought that was incredible. It looked gorgeous as well. I love that moment and seeing him climb out. We also got to see how he lost his armor. The bloody Jawas again coming in and stealing his armor like they always do. Those little gerbils, they're the ones that come in and take your stuff when you're not expecting it. He obviously doesn't have the energy anymore to fight them off. They just knock him out and take all his armor. And that's how he loses his armor. And obviously the Sand People come in and capture him. And I like the interaction he has with all the Sand People. And there's a big story going on, a big storyline that involves the Sand People and why he's able to speak that language in The Mandalorian and all this backstory that we really needed for this character. I also love the flashback of him remembering back to Kamino and also the death of his father, Jango Fett. I like that bit, and it adds a bit of layer to the character because that was a traumatic experience for a young kid, a young Boba, and it really put him on the path that he was on and made him who he was because of those moments where he lost Jango and you watched him die in the hands of Mace Windu. So that was all cool as well. Then we come back to the present, and I like how he's sitting there and he's talking with the people coming in and telling him that he's now the new crime lord, and then he goes off. I like the idea of he's not ruling by the fear like Jabba did, and when he's told, oh, you should be being carried in that, he's like, no, I'll walk on my own 2 feet. I'm going to rule with respect. I like all that. The fight sequence in the middle of the street was awesome as well. We got to see the Fennec Shand. We got to see her at her peak, and she was freaking incredible in this as well. I loved her. She was a complete badass, and it showed you how good she really was. I love that whole sequence of her chasing the assassins, ninjas, whatever you want to call them, across the top of the buildings. I was just so good. And then we get the flashback again, and we get Boba after because he's got in the fight, so he's got a bit of injury, so he goes in and he starts getting his flashback back again to the Sand People, where the little kid takes him on a walk, we see these people invade and take someone's home, which I'm not sure who they are, but they could play into this series. And then as they're walking back, they're digging for the water, and there's this new creature that appears. This new creature appears, and it is a cool looking creature. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it, or I've never read about this creature. I might have come across it once or twice, but I can't remember what it's called or anything like that. But it is a very cool design, and the little kid, obviously the other guy gets trampled. Then the little little sand person kid is trying to fight it off. He gets whacked, and then obviously it's after him, and then Boba comes in, chokes it, and I love the scene where the kid's just coming back with the head and all that. But the head of the sand people knows that Boba was the one who ultimately defeated this, because there's no way the sand kid could do that, and he knows that, so he offers the water to Boba, and that's where it ends. I really enjoyed this. It gave me some more backstory, some more character about Boba Fett, just how vicious he can be, and what his ideas and morals are, the hardship that he has gone through, everything. I really, really enjoyed this. It was gorgeous looking. The music was on point. I thought this was a very, very strong first episode, and it makes me excited to see where we're going to go now, because I think we're really starting to learn who Boba really is, because we don't have that about Boba. I really like Boba as a character, but he doesn't have much character, and he's kind of like one of those mysterious characters that you kind of like. He's really cool because he's mysterious. We don't know what he is. We've only heard the legends. Now we are getting to see the legend come true, and that's what I like, and I enjoyed this. I'm excited for episode 2, so let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down in the comments below. Smash that like button for me, and click subscribe as well, and let's get into a discussion. And make sure you stay up to date with all the Book of Boba reviews that I will be doing. So, thank you and peace out.